Hi, it's Mel's Red Songbird in New York City, the Michelle Bird song. You're looking at a picture of Owen Benjamin and his wife. I'm making this video because I just heard him on video. Hashtag 575. Happy birthday, Moonlight. And Bernie Sanders is insane. I would say that Owen Benjamin is projecting. Owen Benjamin is insane. Bernie Sanders might very well be insane as well. I wouldn't know. But I have watched Owen Benjamin long enough to know that he is definitely insane. He has a conscience that is killing him. Not killing him, it's making him crazy. When he was Ulysses S. Grant, he signed into law a bill called the Act of 1871, where he in effect, made America a corporation, indebted, and then took out a loan with the Rothschilds. That's why he signed the bill in the first place, and Congress created the bill. They're all traitors because it was right after the Civil War and America was short on money, and they wanted to borrow money from the Rothschilds, the Jewish banking dynasty that charges usury interest. And once you take out a loan, you can never pay them back because the interest increases exponentially. So Owen Benjamin ruined America. He made her into the United States of America, where she was the United States for America. She made, instead of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we became a corporation in the pursuit of profits. And so he got us in debt, and we're still in debt. And he destroyed our constitutional republic. And it's killing him. Not killing him, it's making him crazy. So what he does, I was his wife, and I told him not to do it. And he is having an argument with me and punishing me for being right. And one way he does that is by trying to destroy the reputation of people I've been and people I care about. He's tried to destroy the reputation of Albert Einstein, Sigmund Freud, Will Smith, Bob Dylan, Steven Crowder, Jordan Peterson. All of these people, some of which I've been, and all of them I have affection for. And so he's trying to destroy them. He did this thing where he was Faust. And another thing, I have tried very hard to think he's funny. He's not funny. He calls himself a comedian. He's not funny. I have listened to him. He's constantly playing bits from his stand-up shows. And I listen, of course, the audios are real bad. Maybe I'm not hearing him clear enough, because he's not funny to me. He's bitter and mean-spirited and trying to destroy the great people in America. And the reason I'm making this video is because I know that he's on my frequency, and he says my thoughts and my trips. I've said this before, but today, when he said the sun gives us light, and I said, oh, here we go again. I've already made 3 or 4 videos saying that the sun is God, and because I am the daughter of the sun and the moon, and I have communicated with him, with the sun. And one day, he took out his supreme beam and put it between my legs and placed a baby in my womb. And I'm sitting here with the baby still in my womb. I'm waiting for the baby to be ready to come out of the womb and into the world. And Jesus Christ did the same thing. He didn't take out his supreme beam. He merged our eyes, the windows of the soul, and entered my being and put a baby in me. So I actually have twins in my womb. And so that's what I wanted to say. You know, he's a very dangerous man because he's destroying, well, he's trying to destroy all the good people that his wife cares about, and was, really, some of them, Einstein and Freud. Okay, the other thing I want to do, I heard about this. This is uplifting. BuzzFeed. I don't usually read BuzzFeed, but this was about Will Smith, so I gave them a chance, and I read the online article, and I liked it. So I copied some of it down. It said, Will Smith is vying for Father of the Century with this epic speech at Jaden Smith's 21st birthday bash. And then the guy said, seriously, who's cutting onions? Meaning it brought tears to his eyes. Posted July 14th. Terry Carter, BuzzFeed staff. Will Smith is arguably the world's coolest dad. Yeah, I said it, he said. I totally agree with him. Recently, Will uploaded footage from his son Jaden's 21st birthday party in Malibu. It's on YouTube.com. I saw it on Instagram. Remember when Jaden was just a little cutie pie playing the Karate Kid? Anyway, in the 8-minute video, Will gave a touching speech to Jaden that had me regretting I wasn't born into the Smith family. And so let me just say right now that Will Smith was in my family because he was Seth. I was Eve, mother of the earth, and he was Seth, the third and perfect son of Adam and Eve. Look at his body language in this movie. He was so good in the movie. Oh, I love it. Look at him. All right. Oh, that's another thing. He said his wife. Something about his wife being the womb of the earth, and that's. I'm sorry. You're right, Ulysses S. Grant. This wife, the Michelle Birdsong, was your wife, and I am the mother of the earth. Not that wife. It's a pattern of the mother of the earth, Eve. So this is what happens. He's on my frequency, and he's getting my messages, my insights, my knowledge, and then he's speaking it as though it's his. What is the source? Somebody asked him, what is the source? Okay, this and Stevie Wonder's also. This is Milton Harris, my father here. He was my father in a past life, and I found him here at St. Francis of Assisi, Residence 3, where I live. And Stevie Wonder, look at the nose. You see they have the same nose? If you can see they have the same nose and same mouth. This is my daughter Robin Birdsong. I thought She was my husband's, Edwin Birdsong's daughter, until Edwin died. This is Edwin. This is his album, Supernatural. And this is me, Michelle Birdsong. I wrote some of the lyric on this album. My favorite album that he did, and his masterpiece album, according to disc jockey Gary Bird and me. This is his masterpiece album, What It Is. I also wrote the lyric for that and created his image. So, I've been quiet long enough because I was programmed to think that you never owned what you did. You know, false humility, is that what it's called? So, I found that no one else gave me credit for what I did. Edwin didn't give me credit for what I did either. So I decided to start taking credit for what I'm doing. So Stevie Wonder was Judas when I was Mary, Jesus Christ's wife. And he fell in love with Mary and betrayed Christ, hoping he would get rid of Christ and Mary would love him. So fast forward to now, he still had Mary, one to make love to Mary. And I think he was making love to Edwin, because when What It Is came out, Steve flipped and he called us to his apartment to come and meet him. And we did. And he took Edwin into his bosom and maybe into his bed. So one day, when they were fucking, I am an empath and I pick up on energy of those close to me. So I wondered what it was like to fuck Stevie Wonder. At the same time, Stevie Wonder was wondering, as Judas, what it was like to fuck Mary. So voila, a spark. Those thoughts clicked together, and we fucked invisibly and in the imaginary world, and created a physical baby. And that's Robin. And like I said, you can see she looks just like him. I didn't know that. I didn't even know you could do that at that time. You know, but I know now. She took a look at the picture and she said, Mom, because his daughter was on the picture with him. This picture was taken at Edwin's funeral, which Steve got overcome with emotion 3 times and had to leave the room. But she took a look at the picture and she said, Mom, I look more like Steve than his daughter. Because they both had round noses and his daughter had a narrow nose. You see? And I said, well, that's not possible. I certainly never slept with Steve. I didn't even cheat on my husband and your father. But that's why Jesus said, if you lust after a woman in your heart, you've already committed adultery. That was his way of saying thoughts are the first step to creating the physical. So you see. And there was something I was going to say. Oh, and Steve took my energy when I was 9 years old. Again, he had Mary on the brain. And I wanted to know, because the church preacher, Elder Burton, had said, die and burn in hell forever. So my imagination took me there. And I was 5 years old, sitting alone on a bench in church, and I was terrified, filled with terror. The preacher was a terrorist. But, so years later, I was just messing around the living room, going around like getting dizzy to see what it felt like to be dizzy. And then I wanted to know what it felt like to be blind, like the preacher. I hadn't heard of Stevie Wonder's life yet. So I closed my eyes and put my hands to my eyes, and then all of a sudden fear came over me. And I removed my hands quickly, but it was too late because Stevie Wonder wanted to know what it was like to see. At the same time, I wanted to know what it was like not to see. So nature juxtaposed our positions. He got to see what it was like to see by feeling energy, my energy, as daughter of the sun and moon. I am energy. I have that DNA. And I got to know what it felt like not to see, being Judas. You see? Ghetto karma. Because the black people are the real Jews. And the people who call themselves Jews are the fake Jews. So Judas is a real Jew. And they curse themselves. When they said, kill Christ, they said, and let his blood be upon us and upon our children. So they laid a curse upon themselves. So I got Judas's cursed blood as an energy. So that's why my life has been hell. And his life with my energy has been heaven. And Owen Benjamin, being on my frequency, picked up on the fact that Stevie Wonder can see using my energy. But he didn't know all that detail. He just says Stevie Wonder can see. And what it is, Stevie Wonder can feel energy. He feels, because I'm an empath, and he took my energy, you see? So he can feel. So that's like being able to see. Okay, so I've told you a lot. I didn't know I was going to say all this. I'm so tired. I don't mean to complain, but I don't know when I slept. But I just couldn't relax when he said the sun being a portal into heaven and the sun is our life and all that. And I said, oh, he's doing it again. Owen Benjamin, the traitor, is parroting me again. Okay, that's enough for now. I'll give you something to think about. I'll talk to you later. I said that I wasn't even present. My mouth just said it. I wasn't even there. I will make another video after I take a nap. Every time I try to take a nap, something comes into my mind. I get up and start writing again. Okay. Oh, I want to tell you what Will Smith said at his, he told a little story at Jaden's birthday party. He said, I'll tell you something my father told me on my 21st birthday. Never break two laws at one time because you increase your chances exponentially of getting caught for both. So only break one law at a time, the Aladdin star joked. And I was thinking about Will Smith. Some people would be ashamed of his father because his father was a down-home kind of guy. You know, he'd tell stories about it. But Will Smith is so big-hearted and so innocent that, you know, he accepted his father as he was and got a kick out of him. He says, my father was hilarious. You know, he enjoyed his father. He was positive. And that's why he's so successful. He's a positive person. And I say Will Smith for president in 2020. So long.